Hi everyone, this is Lisa Dupron. I'm the owner of Elevate Coaching, and this video is just a small story about how I got where I am today. So I think this starts when I was back in college, which was way, way back in the 80s, and I didn't know what my major was going to be. And I chose psychology. I have no idea why to this day, probably because I went to a liberal arts school. They didn't have business. And so I studied psychology, but I really, really leaned toward the people side of psychology and I didn't want to become a psychologist. So when I got out of school, I went to business and I spent a long and fruitful career working in the business world. All the time, though, in the back of my mind, I always thought there might have been something else that I wanted to do. And so when I got closer to retiring or, leaving my job, my current job, I thought long and hard and I decided that I wanted to do something that went back to my roots about helping people way back when I studied in college. So I decided to go back to school and become a career coach. And I thought about other types of coaching, but that kind really stuck with me because my background for the last 20 years or so has been in HR and IT systems. And when you put the two together, you take my background and you take the work I've done for the last 20 years and you take my need to help people, it all kind of came together for me. And then I decided that career coaching was the thing for me. I went back to school locally, took a couple classes, really liked the idea of coaching people with ways to help their future, right? Ways to help them to pivot to new careers, to help their resumes, to coach them into new ways of thinking and new opportunities. So I got my certification and I also decided to become a hypnotist. So I'm actually a career coach and a hypnotist. And that's more about helping people change. The hypnosis part is about helping people change, and the career part is about being the change, right? Working with the clients for the change. So it's kind of the two put together. I think it's a unique niche. I like to help anxious job searchers, people with anxiety. It's kind of my focus. So I think it's the best way to represent me the way I want to be today and the way I want to go forward. Um, and that's my story. I hope you found it interesting.